Okay, folks, we're going to get our Acevedo in here, the awesome police chief, here in just a moment, and go over a lot of different issues with him. I really appreciate his community outreach program. Let's just bring him on in right now. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. He is Darth Vader is entering the building. Hey, good to see you, Chief. He just blew the door off like when Darth Vader captures Princess Leia. The door goes, stormtroopers came running through.
Yeah.
Now, listen, you know what this is right here?
Citizens Rule Book.
It's got a constitution in it.
All right, can I have it?
Bill of Rights. You can.
Is it my gift?
Hold on.
I'll read it.
I thought you'd go,
No, I'm all about the Constitution.
Because you know your nickname in Austin now. The Vampire.
I know, the Vampire Cop. That's from your friend John Bush gave me that, didn't he? Or did you do that?
I don't know. It's just that you have the blood draws at the checkpoints.
We don't have checkpoints.
Here you go.
Thank you. It's a nice book.
That's subversive
material
really right there. Chief, I hope that's fluoride-free water you're drinking.
It is. It is fluoride.
Only the Ozarka for kids is fluoride.
Oh, this doesn't have fluoride.
No, I know. It's good, but the Ozarka brand for kids does.
How you been doing? I haven't seen you in a couple of years.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
I know. Last time I saw you, you were outside my window calling me a communist. That really hurt my feelings.
Really?
Yes. I don't like communists. That's why I'm in the United States.
I know, but isn't a police state? I mean, isn't that kind of what the communists do?
Yeah, but there is no judge or jury, man. You just you disappear.
Oh, have you heard about the new National Defense Authorization Act where the military is going to be on the streets?
That's news to me. Here we go.
No, I'm serious. We'll print it off for you. You didn't hear about the bill where they want to use the military?
Not yet.
Have you heard about the TSA wanting to run checkpoints on the highways and starting it?
No, I haven't heard that yet.
What is your view of that?
Well, I mean, I have to get more information, but I think that if somebody's going to do that, that's what we have the local police for. There's a specific need. I don't think we need TSA to do it, but who knows? I don't know.
Isn't that a violation of the 10th Amendment to have? I mean, that's outside the Fed's jurisdiction.
Well, depends what the checkpoints are for, but the bottom line is I'd have to get more information, but...
But checkpoints aren't good, though. Aren't those unconstitutional?
Depends on what checkpoints you're talking about. I mean, DWI checkpoints have been held constitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court. Driver's license checkpoints have been held constitutional. But there are some parameters that you have to follow in most states.
What, does it stop everybody?
No, it is. You have to advertise them. For example, DWI checkpoints. I mean, DWI checkpoints, if you really think about them, they're actually, if you really think about them, if they're done right, they're really voluntary. Why do you have to advertise them? That's some of the requirements in most states to have them.
So if Germany would have advertised checkpoints, it'd have been good then?
No, the checkpoints they had were not. Well, they're looking for specific people based on their race, just to. In many cases, a religion. In many cases,
here it's just going to be if you love freedom and are a patriot. Because you get those federal training manuals where it says libertarians, conservatives, returning veterans are the #1 terror threat.
I have not seen it.
You have to.
I have not, Jones. And your listeners, they'll end up thinking I have. I have not seen them. But, I actually, what's really interesting, people don't realize, I actually listen to you. My wife, it drives her crazy. She says, you're depressing. Well,
I know your family left Cuba because you don't like communism.
Absolutely.
So it was mainly a joke when I was out bullhorning you.
I know, but
because I thought I could see you through the windows. I thought that was you up there, so I was like,
no, I wasn't there that day. But
you just watched the videos.
I watched the video. Yeah.
Big brother.
You're Big Brother. You're on the internet. You're everywhere. You're the true Big Brother. I'm just Art Acevedo, one chief trying to keep people safe.
No, I know. Well, I mean, you have been doing overall a pretty good job.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I mean, you've been actually going after people when they do, cops that do bad things. That's good.
Well, you have to. I think that a democracy, you have to police within the realm of the Constitution. You have to, and what's interesting is some of the guys that, I remember having a meeting with some guys, and I won't say their names, I don't want to embarrass them, but they came in, they said they didn't believe in the Constitution. Well, unfortunately, that's the book we follow, and so...
Really? Who came in and said they didn't believe in it?
I don't want to say it.
Austin police or the feds?
No, it was I would say it was people that don't trust the government, a group that started the conversation with myself and David Carter. I don't know if you've met David, our chief of staff, that they didn't believe in the Constitution. And my response to them was, well, then I guess our meeting will be very short because we try to do everything consistent with the Constitution.
Well, stay there, Police Chief. Art Acevedo is our guest. Thanks for coming in. Well, Austin Police Chief Art Acevedo is really nice to come in studio with us. He's been a really busy guy, and it's part of his outreach with the population. That's basically, of course, the New World Order's enemy. But it's good for their psyops to come in and act friendly with us. And so I'm just teasing. I know you're a nice guy.
Yeah,
That's why I got him the tar and feather kit. This is just for Police Chief Art Acevedo. All right, I'm going to stop roasting him in a minute. Here we go. Folks actually mailed this to me, and they actually sell these on the internet. Tar and feather kit, that's what they did to the British bureaucrats that violated people's rights and liberties. And I've been wondering what to do with it, and I saw it there on the table today when Art Acevedo was coming in, so I thought, and it's got real tar and feathers, and say next Halloween you can go out on 6th Street as part of community outreach and maybe tar and feather.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll hold on to that. We'll put it right here. That looks good.
And then lastly, I've got you some raw milk.
Oh, I love milk.
Raw milk from San Antonio right here. Now, transporting this across state lines is illegal. So you're not leaving Austin for the next few days.
What's the date today?
You're not about it.
No, that's enough. What's the date today?
We got it a couple days ago. It stays good for like weeks.
This is December 6th. Does that mean that's the day it was... Is that the expiration date?
No, that's when it came out of the cow.
Okay. All right. I love milk. Are you setting me up?
No. Oh, God forbid it be bad and he gets sick and it's a setup. No. I noticed the glass I tried to give him, he didn't take. He gave that to me.
That's very good. I love milk.
Do you think it's good the feds are raiding people that are producing this all over the country?
I have no idea. It's milk to me, man. I mean, to me,
this is pretty extreme. I think we should have checkpoints to stop people drinking this. Wants to send you home with it? It's good. Give it to the missus.
It's not good for the waistline.
I bet your son would like it.
It's not good for the waistline.
Well, your son, he's a couple years old. He can have this.
Yeah, leave it right there.
We'll get
it later.
No, we're going to give you the... All right, I'm going to stop it.
That's really good.
Like, I'm trying to be witty, and you know I'm not witty.
You can
go ahead. You're mad at me for the communist comment. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not mad. It's just like I just know. I think you know. We may not agree on everything, but I think you know that I may be misguided in your eyes, but you know my heart's in the right place. And what I'm trying to do is keep people safe, which is what our officers are trying to do, and just trying to keep Austin the cool, livable city it is. It's a great place to live and work, and I don't want it to become another major American city where people are getting gunned down left and right, and some things. I think you got really upset about that gun show thing, where I think that kind of spun out of control. We really didn't shut anything down. The owner himself decided to shut that down. It was not the police department. That's what you were upset about.
We talked to the folks that were at the meetings, though. It wasn't the Austin Police Department. The feds basically told them and intimidated them into it.
But you know what? Listen, I came from a state that's really very strict on gun ownership laws and concealed carry and stuff. That's California. To one that's a little bit much more progressive, probably one of the most progressive in the country. And I am completely a convert. The thought of people driving around with guns in their cars made me very nervous when I first got here. But I really believe that responsible gun ownership, which is what Texas has demonstrated by, making sure that people, number one, don't have psychological issues, true psychological issues, or that they're not involved in criminal enterprises, that absent that law-abiding Americans should be able to bear arms and buy weapons. And the problem that I see, and I think that people that support the right to bear arms needs to be careful of, is when you have straw purchasers that show up at these gun shows, they buy a bunch of guns, and then they go out and they sell them to criminals, to crooks, to people that are going to do the drive-by shooting.
But as long as I have my guns to defend myself, right. I mean, look at Chicago, New York, highest crime rates because only the criminals have the guns. Right. You're never going to stop the criminals from having guns. I mean, I would never say take guns from police. I'm always more guns for police. People get mad about police getting semi-automatic and automatic weapons. I say good. I mean, my whole issue is more guns, less crime. But, I mean, let's look at Fast and Furious. A couple of years ago with the gun show debacle, I was pointing out that was an ATF setup, and now we know that those were, and the ATF has been shipping guns into Mexico to then blame the Second Amendment. What's your view of Fast and Furious? Well,
I think that you got to be very careful that when you put something in the hands of the wrong people or try to introduce a firearm that doesn't end up in the wrong hands. And I think that common sense would dictate that if we are shipping weapons to Mexico that end up in the narco traffickers' hands that are now executing police officers and innocent people and all kinds of people in Mexico, that they're on the verge of a civil war down there if they don't really get it together. I don't think was smart.
Well, the feds got caught lying to Congress. They weren't just allowing some to be sold. They were shipping them in. Yeah. And then, did you hear about Sinaloa? A national security got declared on it in Chicago. Sinaloa was allowed to ship drugs in for 5 years. And when the Attorney General brought that up and said, well, you know, Bush did this too, that's when they finally dropped the whole case. Because it was Bush was involved as well. I mean, you know about Iran-Contra and all that.
Yeah, of course.
You were out in California.
I lived, you know, that's not history for us. That was living history for us.
Well, what about drug decriminalization?
You know, I have seen over the years what drugs does to people. It ruins a lot of lives, especially the addictive drugs. And well, no, you're the water's in the shot. So we're not. Oh, we can't put a product in the shot.
No, it looks better if it's all as Lord Art Acevedo.
Okay, all right, Lord.
I didn't mean to. Here, you can have the water.
No, it's good.
You can have the milk too. Here,
but the thing is,
here, brought to you by. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He is crazy as ever. I love the man. Now you made me forget what we're talking about.
We're talking about Fast and Furious.
No, we were talking about something else.
Decriminalization of drugs.
Look, I am a proponent that the answer is not to because even in some European countries where they've decriminalized drugs, they're starting to take a second look at it because of the social impact it has on people's lives when people get addicted to some of the drugs. I am a proponent of we need to fight the war at the source, which means where they're being produced. And that's a national security issue that goes beyond the purview of the Austin Police Department. But I don't think the answer is to decriminalize drugs. Marijuana, I'm not that excited about. You know, I don't get too excited about marijuana.
But come on, I can pull the numbers up. You're saying Europe's taking a second look at it. They've got all sorts of numbers where you decriminalize and actually drug use goes down.
Well, if you look at Vancouver, which is a city that has a very permissive attitude towards drug use, they've got a tremendous problem there.
Well, yeah, when it's pockets, all the druggies move there.
Yeah, and
that's like Amsterdam. Well, listen, I don't like
Amsterdam is another area where they have problems.
Yeah, but I don't use illegal drugs. I've tried some of them, and always felt like I was kicked in the head by a mule. And I'm like, people pay for this. Yeah. I like coffee and stuff like that. But in the final equation, look what the drug war is doing to Mexico. Their own government's talking about decriminalizing. To me,
and again, it's not decriminalization. I think it's taking the war to the source, and that's the answer.
What if the source is the U.S. government?
Well, if that were the case, then we need to do something about that as well.
Well, have you seen them admit that our troops have to grow the opium in Afghanistan?
I have not seen that.
You know what? You're a smart guy. It's convenient. You're like Sergeant Schultz.
Wait, stop.
You've seen nothing.
Listen, I work 7 days a week. And my primary function is the city of Austin.
No, I know.
I don't have that much downtime, and I've got plenty of reading to do. And the only show I really watch on TV is The Walking Dead on AMC. I absolutely
Isn't that a zombie or is that a vampire movie?
No, it's a zombie show. I
thought you'd like a vampire movie.
No. Actually, I saw one the other day on my iPhone that was actually pretty good. I forgot what it's called.
Listen, I'm not just in here trying to grill you over this stuff, but I promise you, we can put it on screen.
Yeah.
Detention camp order follows preparation for civil unrest. And then here's the emails. Here's the Halliburton operation. I have the Wall Street Journal 6 years ago where they first got the contract to build the camps. Now they're preparing to man the camps. And it talks about security, checkpoints, barbed wire, and barricades. And they have this Emergency Centers Establishment Act that basically says political dissidents will go in these.
Yeah.
Chief, are the feds out of their jurisdiction if they start arresting political dissidents?
Well, I think if you look at the First Amendment, that we have the right to free speech, the right to associate with whatever beliefs we have, as long as we don't start talking and taking action to hurt other people.